Good morning. Today is checkout day. We just checked out of our room. We cut it kind of close. I woke up a little early, around 7:30, because I wanted to do laundry. We had a bit of laundry left over, so I was able to get that done. Pack everything else. I think packing a little bit last night was a big help. I'm barefaced today because it's airport day, so I usually don't wear anything, just to be a little bit more comfortable. And we took our luggage down to the luggage check-in, and I was surprised to see that there was a long line, but I think it kind of makes sense. Everyone's checking out at this time or arriving and leaving their luggage at the luggage services. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but during our stay we didn't have a freezer in our room, and one thing that luggage services does is actually take any things you want to be frozen. They keep it for you in their like industrial size freezer, and then you can claim it. So we went back every day or every evening to either pick up or put in our packet bag for keeping like anything we wanted like cool for the day. So I mentioned it in like my packing video. I have like this packet like freezer bag that has like gel sewn into the lining, like the freezing gel. And so whenever I pack snacks for Aria, I just pack it in like little containers, and then I can stick it into the bag so they stay relatively like fresh throughout the day. So we're just chilling out here. We have a couple of hours until our Sunshine Flyer shuttle or bus takes us to the airport. Probably just gonna have Aria here, just play around in the playground outside of the room we're staying at. So they have like a little kids area where they can climb and just burn out some energy, especially since she's gonna sit for about 5 hours or so later today on our flight. And then we're kind of just trying to kill time and figure out what other things to do to keep us occupied. Change of plans. We decided to just look around our resort area and keep an eye on our child as she rummages through the tall grass area. Eric's with her right now. So we haven't got a chance to look at the different sections at Art and Animation, so we thought we'd just take some time to kind of check it out. She hasn't really seen any of these movies. As I mentioned, she's mainly familiar with like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, just the classic Disney characters. Everyone else, she has no clue who they are. I'm sure as you know, she gets older and can sit through like longer movies and all of that, then she would slowly get introduced to all of them. But for now, she's just only interested in Mickey. This is the doll that she picked out at World of Disney when we were at Disney Springs. And she just wants to play hide and seek in the bushes. Big Blue. She's more interested in the bushes. Okay, we're gonna try to see if she'll want to keep walking and see the other cars. Right now we have Sheriff near us. Oof, right there. And then I forget his name. Where is it? Oh, this way. That guy. Or that car. This car right here. Not sure. Forgot his name. But they have other ones like Cruise back there. I think Flo. Luigi. And then I see like Mater over there, and I'm sure Lightning McQueen somewhere here as well. But my family's on the move, so I'm gonna try to catch up with them.
You say Mater? Mater. Now you got shy.
I lied. I thought Ramon was Cruz, but he's not. Ramon is this one, right? I think. And then Cruz is the yellow car in Cars 3. Obviously, I'm not an avid fan of this movie, but I know a little bit. Actually, I was really into Cars, the first movie, for a while, so I watched it multiple times. But it's been a while since then, so some of the names are a little lost on me. I'm trying to keep this one. All she wants to do is like throw these rocks around. There are like the gravel for the garden area. Some of the little patches have like more, what would you call it, like the dry garden?
Yeah, the California lawn or something.
Yeah,
or
like
the desert.
What's it called? Like that stuff you put inside on top of like the dirt. That's like little rocks and stuff.
Aggregate?
Is that what it's called? Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Otherwise, my explanations make no sense at all. So it's like this stuff on the ground. She's like into. They're just like tiny pebbles that she just wants to throw around, trying to keep her from destroying all the landscaping here. But other than that, she loves going outside. She loves being outdoors and running around, exploring. And we let her freely do it with some boundaries of not destroying things. You know, if she sits on the ground and like tosses some rocks around, I'm not gonna freak out about germs or anything. Just want her to, you know, experience things, do sensory play without much effort. So in that regard, she's a very adventurous child, where she just loves to explore. And sometimes we have to keep, or okay, not sometimes, all the time, have to keep an extra eye on her. She just goes for it. Are they supposed to go in there?
No, that's a drain.
Oh, Arya, don't throw it in there.
But it's already filled with
Oh,
rocks.
alright. That's rocks. Okay. So we're back at the Finding Nemo Suites, and Arya's just having fun climbing on that little play gym, going on slides. She met a new friend. They were just kind of playing with each other. Arya tends to like catch attention of a lot of people because she's very friendly. Like she goes up and says hi, and then like laughs and just you know, interacts with them. And you know, she's I guess generally very friendly and like makes friends easily. You know, even though it's like short-term friends, probably won't see each other again. But overall, like, we were trying to just still waiting for our bus, and probably in about 20 minutes or so I'll have to go over and get our luggage and make the whole trip to the airport, boarding, flying, and all of that. I think overall that's like the most stressful part of going on any vacation, is like the whole flight and logistics of going through TSA and all of that. But other than that, like Eric and I were talking about the other night what our favorite parts of the park is. So I guess I'm just gonna give like a quick summary of how our trip has been and all of that. I guess starting off with like sleep and Arya and all of that. I think that I would recommend just coming back to the hotel to take a nap. Every time we did that 2 days out of the 4 that were at the parks. She napped way better. Otherwise, like she would just take an hour nap like twice a day rather than one full 2-hour nap, which I guess in the end it's the same. And she still slept okay, like probably around 11 p.m. every night she fell asleep. But I think the days that she did sleep, those just like 1-2 hour block, she slept better like at night. And when I showed you guys the video of our setup, we had the pack and play provided from the hotel with the slumber pod on top. Eventually we just switched to the toddler bed with the slumber pod because she was kind of throwing a fit about being in the pack and play because I guess it's more like contained. And then the past 2 days she didn't want the slumber pod at all. So, and last night she slept the whole time without, you know, waking up or like crying to be in our bed or anything like that. So I guess my mixed feelings about the slumber pod is I don't know if it's really worth it for us, just because she doesn't really need a blackout environment to fall asleep. She just needs a dark room. Like it doesn't have to be even that dark. Like we can just have the curtains closed and that's fine. Like at home we have like blackout like drawn curtains or like, and she sleeps fine with that. But I think I mentioned before that at my in-laws where she takes naps most of the time when we're at work, their room is like not nearly as dark as her own room at home. So I think I'm leaning towards returning it just because it doesn't seem a necessary thing for us. And we tested it out here while we're traveling and it's kind of half the time we didn't even use it. We do like our toddler bed. We've had it for a while, so definitely recommend that. There's also those tub liners I really liked. They were really easy. Unfortunately, like you can't like reuse them. So just keep that in mind if you are more environmentally conscious. They are like disposable liners, and if you want to use them more than once, it'll be kind of difficult to like drain out the water and reuse them. It's not impossible, but it does take a little bit of effort. And the bibs that I've shared before about the disposable bibs, so I've gone through 2 types. One where you have the sticky tabs on both sides of the I guess the part that like goes around their neck. So I like that one better, with the stickies on both sides of like the ends that would stick to the back of the shirt. The one we got this time, it only had a sticky on one side of the tab, and you kind of just like overlap it with the other end, and then they stick together. The reason being is if she needs to take off the bib, then you're kind of like, it's really hard to re-stick it. So I'd rather go back to the other ones that had sticky tabs on both sides, because you just peel it off from their shirt and it's really easy to stick it back on if they have to like, if you have to leave to change a diaper, or in our case for character dining, like we took her out of the high chair so she can go up to the characters, and I didn't want like all the food that's on her bib to, you know, ruin their costumes or anything like that. So I don't think I'll repurchase the type of bib, or just kind of be more aware of the certain type that I like, which are the ones with the 2 individual sticky tabs. And plus the ones with the 2 tabs are individually like packaged, whereas the ones I recently bought, they weren't, even though like on the description it said it was. But it's you know, it's fine. Like we got by without it, and I wasn't too bothered by it. Definitely recommend also the food mats, the disposable ones. We've had a couple that we went through, and this is like a second purchase. So the first time I purchased them, the actual stickies ran across the entire mat, like 5 rows. But the ones I bought just for this trip that had like letters or colors and alphabets and all that, the stickies ran along the perimeter. Hi, baby. Oh, you still asleep. Pause. Taking a water break. Yeah, so the mats we got this time, the stickies ran along the perimeter, so it was not as many tabs to pull off, and I felt like it stuck a lot better than the other ones we had. Anything else? I feel like those are kind of the main things that we've used the most from our trip, in terms of like toddler travel essentials or on-the-go essentials. Definitely the packet we used every day, and then the little snack cups, which I mentioned that they were just kind of individually like stacked containers that we used before for pre-portioned formula when we were on the go, and I just kind of repurposed them as snack cups. And so each layer you just kind of screw off and you'll have different types of snacks, and so that was really useful. You can pack like snacks on the go, and the packet use the packet to like keep it cool. Oh, most sweet. Okay, more water. Oh, another thing that she seemed to like as well is this like stroller. I forgot what it's called, but like this little handle here where she can grab it and she could walk along the stroller. So she's not the type that likes to sit in the stroller a lot, so a lot of times we had to carry her, so I had like my hip seat carrier for her. But other times where like we were both so tired from carrying her, then she would be willing to hold on to this while we're pushing the stroller, so she's nearby, and that way her foot doesn't get caught on the wheels while we're pushing. Other than that, I think those are kind of the main things that worked out well for us. Also, like we used a separate bag to carry all our essentials, like I mentioned in I think day 1 vlog, where we had all our stroller accessories in a bag, so we can easily take it off, collapse our stroller, and then go on any transportation, mainly buses that we had to take down the stroller. We did go on the monorail and the Skyliner, but we did not have to take down our stroller. We can just wheel it on. The thing is, Aria didn't like to sit in it while we were moving on any type of vehicle, Skyliner or monorail. So, but it did save us like a lot of effort by just not having to take down the stroller. So I guess if you're planning on taking a trip to Disney World, I would recommend booking a resort that is on like the Skyliner, because you would have to take the Skyliner to 2 out of the 4 parts. So Epcot and Hollywood Studios are both on the Skyliner, whereas Magic Kingdom, you have the monorail, and there's only like a few of the only the deluxe hotels I think go through the monorail, and then Animal Kingdom I think like is the most far removed. Everybody has to take a bus to get there, and the bus is the one stop or one mode of transportation that you have to take down your stroller. But like since we had just like one stroller, like not like a double stroller, we just have like a single-seater stroller, we can just wheel those onto the monorail or onto the Skyliner. I think on the monorail, I'm not sure if you have to break down a double stroller to get on, but definitely if you had a double stroller and you're taking the Skyliner, you have to take it down. It won't fit through the door because it's like too wide. So just to make like your everyday transportation with a toddler easier, I recommend booking a hotel on the Skyliner, just because you get access to 2 of those parks, and especially if you just have like a single stroller to use, then you don't have to break it down. There were only a few times where we had to sit in a cart with like another party. That's because we were 3 people, and maybe there was like another group of 3 or another group of 2 that did not have a stroller, and so the stroller fit in the Skyliner with like that extra party, so it wasn't that much of an effort, or wasn't that big of a deal. And so yeah, I think that's kind of my like 2 cents on that. I think if we would come back, I would still book a resort on the Skyliner, but maybe somewhere like in the middle, like Caribbean Beach, or yeah, Caribbean Beach is the like transfer point where you can transfer to Epcot or Hollywood Studios. So I would maybe look into like a hotel maybe in the middle of the Skyliner routes. Art Animation is the furthest south. I think it's south of the route where the Skyliner is. So, I mean, in the end, when I was booking hotels, that's kind of what I was looking at. Like, what modes of transportation would I have to use to get to what parks, and how many of those parks can I access? So I'm really happy with our choice. We did want a more themed hotel, which definitely Art of Animation is. It's very like immersed in Disney. Other resorts are more like, you know, less Disney themed. There's kind of a touches here and there, and maybe like more fit for like if you're not into like the big like in your face Disney themes. But otherwise, like, those are kind of the things I thought about when I was booking my hotel. So I think I'm just gonna like pause or kind of end the section of the vlog here. We'll see if I can like have time to do a check-in while we're at the airport or after we kind of get situated there. I think Eric's getting a little tired from looking or watching Aria as she plays. Plus, so I'm just gonna relieve him, and we also need to go refill our water bottles as Aria's constantly taking water breaks. So I'll check in with you guys later. So one of the things that the hotel worker I overheard explain was the artwork here along the animation hall. It goes from like, I guess, more brainstorming style, and then as you progress further to the left, you start adding color and more definition to the artwork. And you can see the changes of how, like, some characters, they, when they were thinking of them, they weren't as defined, or they look totally different from what the final product is. So it's kind of cool to see the progression and just the yeah, the ideas that came into designing the characters, and you know what we see today on the screen, and how they were when they were first being thought about. We made it back home. It was a rough flight. I think in the beginning, pretty soon after we loaded, Arya, I think she fell like asleep, and then she woke up and started freaking out, probably because she woke up in like an unfamiliar place, and she was like kicking and screaming, and I felt so bad for the lady in front of her, because her chair was just like getting kicked by Arya, and I was trying to like stop Arya and like calm her down, but we were like taxiing about to take off, so I couldn't like unbuckle her and hold her, and like she kept saying she wanted to get held. And I think also the overhead lights of the row in front of us, they were on, and so everything else, like the cabin was dark except for those lights near us, and so she was not liking the fact that they were on, so I had to ask Eric to turn them off, or ask Eric to ask the passengers in front of us to turn it off, to see if that helped. It kind of did calm her down, but she was still like crying a lot, and so in the end I just had to bust out the iPad or the tablet and put on some like Cocoa Melon to just calm her, but she was like really screaming and crying, so it was a little rough. That calmed her down a bit, and then right when like the seatbelt lights came off, then I picked her up to see if she would go back to sleep, but she wasn't really into it anymore. So she just kind of sat there for like the next hour watching Cocoa Melon, eating some snacks, and then I was trying to get everything else situated, and it was a lot of like back and forth with her, and moments of like, I guess, tantrums and crying. So it was a little rough, but we made it. And it was overall, I think, a pretty good trip. I think probably next time we would bring like my parents to come also to have like an extra pair of hands and just lighten our load in terms of caring for Arya, especially if in the future we end up having like multiple kids. So that's kind of something to consider. And this time when I planned this trip, I did ask my parents if they wanted to come, but I think overall I wanted us to just have like a trip with just the three of us, especially like we haven't had a lot of time, or I felt like we didn't have a lot of time to really spend as a family. Erica and I have just been working, and like of course on the weekends we try to do activities with Arya, but especially now that it was her birthday, we just kind of wanted to make it a little bit more special. So I wanted to just have some time with her, and yeah, but next time I think I'm gonna have to have some backup for the trip. And I'm not even sure if we're gonna do like Disney World again, or maybe we'll just do like Disneyland. It's much more manageable, and we're way more familiar with that. And there's not less traveling in terms of transportation from like resort to parks and all of that. But I just want to show you guys. I don't know if I already showed you. If not, then I'll cut this part out. But we did get a resort mug. They had like two styles. One was, it looked like more like a daytime theme, and then this one has more like a nighttime feel. The other one had like a Mickey and Minnie in like a retro Mickey and Minnie in driving in their car, kind of going off of the theme of like Mickey's Vacation or Fun Vacation, like, which is like one of the like short films that or attraction at Hollywood Studios. So he decided to get this one. Arya picked it, and you can get like a blue Mickey with a yellow lid, or like this one is a yellow Mickey with a blue lid. So we chose this one. One thing though that they did change, if you guys don't know, before, when you bought like a resort mug, we got one when we went to Alani, and I believe that they had it where if you just brought it back the second time you visited the resort, you can just keep using it. So the reason why people get these mugs in the first place is because you get unlimited like soft drinks, tea, and coffee. So they have like a self-serve station you can just like refill your mugs at. But now their mugs have like RFID something chips or whatever it is, where you can only use it on the machines during your stay. So the next time, if we go to Walt Disney World, we'll have to get a new mug. Although I don't know if it's like true or not, because I did like test it out, like the soda machine, without putting any mug in there, like, and it was still dispensing like a soft drink. So if we go back, I'll like try it out and see if this does work. The mugs themselves are like $25, so if you go every time and buy like the same mug, that's kind of like, I don't know, redundant. So, but this is something we got. It has like the 50th anniversary since Walt Disney World just celebrated that. And one thing I think I mentioned before, that I bought like a postcard, so that has like Mickey and the 50th on it as well. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this is what the postcard looks like. It's a much thicker material. It's not like just the cardstock. It has like, I don't know if you can tell, but not like holographic, but it has that type of material like the image doesn't change when you're like shifting it, but it has like the texture where you're like scratching it. So it's a little bit thicker card. I usually buy a postcard every time I go on a trip just to like commemorate that trip. And I have like a stash of them somewhere in storage. I haven't had a chance to really like buy a photo album or anything like that to organize all of them. So this is another one I add to my collection. And I think when Aria's older, probably start a collection for her would be something like pressed pennies or ornaments or something like that. Hopefully I'll be able to get these videos up sooner, unlike my honeymoon videos, which like was a year later after I filmed them. And I hope the tips or my commentary or comments about the different things I bought when you're traveling with a toddler is helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments, or you can always DM me, and on Instagram it's at EJMAH, and I will try to answer as many as I can. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed sharing our vacation. I'll see you later.